Good morning. Hello from the Midwest, where we got about 8 inches of snow and ice dumped on us yesterday, with more expected today, I think. It's going to be super cold for the next few days, so we're kind of hunkering down. Today I want to talk about mama drama. I think it's really important. And I think it's where a lot of our individual suffering begins. So my mother was 19 years old, and they had split up. They had realized they got married too young. So my mom went off the pill. And in her May birthday, my biological father shows up with gifts and apologies, and they're married still, so they made love. Here I am. And she's made it very clear from the womb that I was not wanted. It's taken me the majority of my life just to feel comfortable in my own skin. There's something tragic that happens to a human when they are abandoned. She couldn't be there for me. She gave me what she had to give, which was not very much. Mostly hate. Mostly me apparently crying in my crib when my biological father would come home for the short amount of time that they tried to work things out. He would come home from work and I'd be crying in my crib, and my mom would be in her room with her door shut with pillows over her head, and my ass had a raging rash. I learned very young that I was a burden. I remember her saying things to me like, "You're a noose around my neck," or "You're the evilest sperm and you swam the fastest to make my life miserable." How can you say those kinds of things to an innocent child? But now I know, because I've had to do years of talk therapy, which is almost doesn't work. I'm sorry if that's offensive to anyone, but as someone who has severe CPTSD, and you just barely start to crack the surface of what you've experienced, and they say, "I'm sorry, but we have 5 minutes. I just wanted to let you know." Deflated. Everything that you shared with them is moot. You walk out of there feeling, what the fuck did I just do all of that for? I've been in group therapies. I went to I put myself in drug treatment thinking I was an addict when I was 19 years old. Big, good move I made for myself, because it was there that I really started to learn about trauma. Then after realizing spiritually we just kind of hit a ceiling, we felt like there was more than what NA had to offer. No disrespect, because it gave us a firm foundation of the beginning of being able to look within. Then we became rabid Christians for about 13 years. We left church. We found no joy inside organizational church. We realized that that wasn't the only place that God existed. People thought we were crazy when we did it, but it felt like the right thing to do. And what it did was it led us to all kinds of healing modalities, which I'll share in another video. But I've been introduced to things that have helped me begin the journey of self-love, self-appreciation, self-knowledge, I've been able to forgive myself for not understanding. I've been able to forgive my mother for not understanding. Her mother. Everybody keeps telling me to write a book, but I just don't know how. Because my life has just been so nuanced with a plethora of things. It's hard to write it all. I'd love to have some help. If anybody's interested, that would be really great. But I think that the mother wound is really transparent for me. I see it in people, and I can always tell. Young men, I've always had a good relationship with them. I feel like I've been able to be feminine and a mother figure for some of them. And I can always tell the ones that have mama trauma because they don't want anything to do with me. And I don't take it personal anymore. I used to. But now I understand that as much as you want to be close to other people, there's a certain ignorance there that I don't know if it ever fully heals. I've made room for my truth about being an unwanted pregnancy. I'm their only child, my biological parents' only child. And I am very fortunate because my mother did, about 3 years before her death, she made about a 3-hour apology to me. And it was profound. And it was well thought out. My mother, in her own mental instability, knew that she was abusing me. She gave me specific instances of times where she would just be wailing on me with whatever she could find. A shoe or a hanger or a belt. It didn't really matter. She admitted to me she couldn't stop. She thought she was a monster. She thought there was something wrong with her. From her birth, she said she felt like an alien here. And I'm sure my grandmother had to have felt similar. There's so much I'm going to share here. So stoked. But mama trauma is where my story began. And that's what I thought I was healing. And it was so much more, so much more. Thanks for showing up. Thanks for listening. And if you resonate with this at all, let me know. You know, I'm super curious to see who out there has deep mama trauma that's healing. Blessings.